Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a review today on the InPen, which is the only smart insulin pen, so I'm super excited to be doing this. I have been on the InPen for over a year now. If you are new to my channel, I will catch you up very quickly. About a year ago, I had been on a pump for like 15 years and I just decided, like, you know what? I need a break. I need to give my body a rest. I need to do something different. This isn't working for me. My numbers were really crazy. Things were just like kind of haywire. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna switch to pens, but I'm scared. I had been on a pump for so long that I was really nervous about the transition between switching from, you know, a pump where it calculates everything for you to basically going back to old school. And then I discovered our little friend, the InPen by Companion Medical. If you don't already know, the InPen is a smart insulin pen. It comes with an app that you can use on your phone that will pretty much act like a pump for you. And all of this comes in this like little tiny pen. It's amazing. So what I want to do today was kind of review the InPen, tell you what I've learned over the last year, because I definitely have put it through it, I think is the best way to say it. I've used it in like the summer, I've traveled with it, I took it internationally with me, I have taken this thing everywhere. So one of the reasons that I love the InPen is that it comes with an app, and that is pretty much the reason that like has kept me on this pen. Otherwise, I probably would have gone back to pumps by now. But the app, I'm gonna show you around it a little bit, and you'll have to excuse me because I'm going to be showing it on my phone while also talking to you guys, so bear with me. So as you can see, when you open the app at the bottom, this is the screen that comes up. You can see your graph for the past couple hours. You can adjust that graph if you want. You can make it say, you know, I can do it from this morning to I can do 12 hours, 24, or 3. I like to keep it on the 6-hour graph because that's just, I don't really care what happened more than 6 hours ago. This is all I really need to see. I know I can see how much insulin I've taken. I kind of had a spike after breakfast, so I took a little more insulin. That's gonna be that second hump. And then I had lunch right where that purple dot is, and you can see how long my insulin is gonna be in my system after that. So you can see that's why that blue mountain is kind of sloping down, because that insulin is starting to leave my system. I can see that I still have 1.6 units on board from my 4.5 units of lunch bolus. You can see how much active insulin you have on board, and that all the insulin that I've taken today so far and yesterday. I can keep scrolling. It will also give you a little reminder. So you can see this little yellow clock that's highlighted. I can tap that and it's asking me if I missed my lunch bolus, because I did eat a little early. So my window for taking my lunch bolus is 12:20 to 12:25. Now, you can see I took my lunch bolus about 2 hours ago, so I took it a little before 12:20. So I can say, no, I ate early. So it has reminded me now to take insulin for lunch, which is one thing I love about it, because I have short-term memory problems, I swear. So having this to remind me is just what I need. It's just comes in handy so much like that. Scrolling down a little bit more, I can see that I took my 31 units of Tresiba this morning, so it will also give you a reminder for that, which is super, super nice. I can double check that I've taken my morning bolus, so you can see I ate 40 carbs for breakfast at 9:30, and that's what that first little hump is gonna be on the graph. And yeah, the other thing that has been a huge lifesaver from this app is the dose calculator. So if I tap on that, let's see, my blood sugar right now is 85. Well, I'm actually really good. And because I have insulin on board, it's telling me to eat 11 carbs. But if I put in that I'm having 30 carbs, let's just pretend I'm eating a snack right now that's 30 carbs. It will tell me to take 2 units, which is super great. And if I even tap further on that 2 units, it breaks it down and tells me like, okay, so really my carb dose should be 3.75 units, but because of the insulin that I have on board, it's pulled it back 1.27 units, which then gives me a total recommended dose of 2 units. So it can show you the math for everything, which I love, because sometimes I'm like, does it know what it's talking about? And fun fact, a lot of the times it knows exactly what it's talking about. So it's really intuitive like that, which I love. All right, so I'm gonna cancel out of this. We're gonna hit discard because I'm not actually eating anything right now. Let's go on to the logbook. If you tap logbook at the bottom of the screen, this will pretty much show you all of your logs from the past couple days. I'm not 100% sure how far it goes back, but just scrolling wise, it can go back pretty far. I'm on November 25th, which that was not a good blood sugar day. My average was 178, and I took about 75 units of insulin that day. On that note, I'm gonna scroll back to today, and you can see today so far I've taken 48 units of insulin, and that does include my 31 units of Tresiba. My average glucose so far for today is 109, which, like, yes, right where I wanna be, and I've eaten about 70 carbs. It will have all of those logs for you on any day that you go back to. So let's say I'm at the endo and she's like, what happened last Friday? Okay, let's go to Friday. Friday, December 4th. It looks like I had a pretty crazy day, actually. My Dexcom kind of was in and out. Maybe this isn't the best day to show, but you know, this is real, so this is what I'm gonna show you. So it looks like I had taken about 78.5 units of insulin. I ate 140 carbs, and my average glucose was 103. Oops, I think I hit something and it went back. But all that to say, if you're at the endo and they want to know what happened on a certain day in the last couple of weeks, you could scroll right to that day, which is so handy, because I can be like, this is what happened here. I went high here because maybe I didn't take all the carbs I was supposed to, you know, things like that. So I find this part of the app super handy. Another thing that's really nice about the logbook is if I forgot a dose, I can go up to log dose in the corner, put 2 units of rapid acting insulin. Let's say I took that at 2:30 and hit save. Now I'm not gonna hit save because I didn't actually take that, but it's great that if you maybe took an injection with like a needle, or somehow you took insulin that didn't get accounted for on the app, you can totally add that in. You can also log your Tresiba on here. So I use this feature all the time when I'm traveling because of the time zone. So let's say, you know, I'm traveling one time zone back, I'll take my insulin obviously an hour earlier, and I can go in here and log it and just like make sure it's logged, which is super handy. So moving on to reports, the next little tab over at the bottom, this is another favorite of mine, because if I am having a bad day or I have questions about a day that I had that, you know, maybe my settings were off, I can export this and send it to my endo and say like, here's my day, what it looks like. You can see where I took all my insulin and all that, you know, all the details that they might need, and I can send it off to them and they can say like, okay, I see that, do this, this, and this. Problem solved. Problem fixed, so easy. So you can tap the settings and do either the last 7 days, 14, 30, or 90, which is so nice because, you know, sometimes endos are like, I want to see the last 3 months, and you're like, okay, here you go. So you can send them a 90-day report. You can send them faxes if you want. I've never personally used that. I can hit export and I can choose to email, print it, or share it, or fax it, or do whatever. Again, great for communicating with your endocrinologist or your doctor who handles your diabetes. It's just very handy to be able to like give them something and be like, this is what's going on. And then you don't have to kind of sit there and explain yourself the whole time. So again, it kind of looks very similar to the graph on the home page. You can see these are my last 7 days. You can see where I took my insulin. Those are the blue mountains on the bottom, and what my graph was through that whole day. So that is super, super handy, and another reason that I love this app. Moving on to settings next to it. Starting from the top, therapy settings. So I'm gonna hit proceed. I'm not gonna change anything, but I just wanna show you guys. You can see it has all of your rapid acting settings, which are very similar to a pump setting. So you can put your target blood glucose, your insulin sensitivity factor, your carb ratio. You can have it show your active insulin display, which like obviously I definitely want to know if I still have active insulin on board. So it's great that you can see all of your settings. I love that about this. So going on to the long acting tab, you can see I have my insulin type, which is Tresiba. There's a couple you can choose from, you know, Lantus, Levemir, there's a couple of choices in there which are really nice. I can choose how many times a day I take my long-acting insulin. You can choose 1 or 2. I take mine once a day in the morning, and I have my InPen remind me at 10 a.m. to take my 31 units of Tresiba. So that's super helpful because, again, short-term memory problems, sometimes I'm like, did I take my insulin? And I can go look right in the app and see, okay, I took it, 10 a.m., perfect. Now, mealtime reminders, that's kind of what I was talking about before. So I have my reminders that if I don't take insulin So let's say for breakfast between 8:15 and 10:45 a.m. I kind of eat all over the place in the morning. That at 10:45, if I have taken no insulin, it will send me a reminder kind of similar to what you saw before that says like, did you miss your dose? Did you eat early? Like, what's going on? So the app will check in with you and say like, how are you doing, human? Are you alive? Did you take insulin? Like, what's going on? Which I love, because again, forgetful memory. Did I take insulin? Is my blood sugar high? Like, what's going on? So I have that set up for my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner. As you can see that if I don't take insulin in those windows, it will be like, hello, are you alive? Which is so helpful. Going into the reminders just a little bit more, I'm gonna hit the reminders tab. You can have it, you can turn off these reminders if you don't want them. You can turn off your long acting. You don't have to have your long acting on. I definitely do because again, short-term memory problems. I also have it to remind me if I haven't changed my cartridge in 28 days. So like say my insulin's getting old, usually I go through a cartridge way quicker than that. So I've never had that reminder come up, but I love that it's there just in case. It will also remind me to check my blood sugar at bedtime. So I go to bed pretty late. So I have it that at 12:30, it says like, hey, make sure you look at your blood sugar before you go to bed, which I typically do, so that's usually not a problem of forgetting. And that's it. You can obviously, you know, pair a new pen. It tells you how to do everything. It takes you through all the steps. I'm not gonna pair a new pen because I have my pen right here. The pen has a couple of different cartridges that you can use with it. So you can use Fiasp, Novolog, and Humalog. I used Fiasp. I have used Novolog before. I've never used Humalog in here. I just love this pen. I love that it was so simple to switch from a insulin pump to a pen. I'm so grateful that there's like a smart insulin pen out there. It's exactly what I needed. Literally exactly what I needed, because again, I was a little nervous about switching. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. And my numbers, I remember messaging my endo a couple weeks after switching to the smart insulin pen, to the InPen, and I was like, my numbers are amazing. So I think I'm gonna like stick with this a lot longer than I should. And she was like, go for it. Like, do whatever you wanna do that works for you. Like, I highly support it. And I was like, great. The pen, I do love that the pen comes in different colors. I have the pink one. It comes in gray and blue as well. It is able to dose in little, like, I don't know if you can see this. If you can, there's half unit doses, which is really, really helpful. I didn't think I was gonna love it this much, but I don't miss being on a pump at all. I love that I can inject in my arm, in my stomach, maybe in my leg if I wanna do somewhere different, so I'm not injecting in like the same spot all the time. It's just great to have the freedom to be able to like move it around, inject, do whatever you want. The other thing that this pen has, I haven't run into this yet, but it does have a temperature reminder that if your insulin gets too hot, it will send a notification to your phone and say like, hey, move your insulin to somewhere cooler. I'm not sure what the temperature is off the top of my head that it alerts you at, but it does alert you if your insulin is getting too hot, which is so nice. Other than that, traveling with the pen has been so easy. I love that I'm not taking like bags of pump supplies with me with like all the different parts, that I just grab my pen, maybe make sure I have an extra cartridge so that I have enough insulin to get me through my trip, and put it in a little bag, and then like I'm covered. It takes like no space in my bag. It's so easy to keep track of. The other thing I was worried about was losing my pen. That is a personal thing that I have. This doesn't have a tracker on it, but I have not lost my pen at all this whole year, which has been, frankly, a freaking miracle. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to come on and give you guys a little review of the InPen. If you want to learn more, definitely check out the link in my description below. Let me know if you have the InPen. Maybe you're thinking about getting it. I feel like I can't recommend this enough. It's one of my favorite things that I've used, and I've used a ton of diabetes technology, but this is definitely like, this is definitely up there. I definitely love it. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.